reason that Carla, and this is something that people don't know about Carla, is that Carla Thomas, everything she wears and most of the things she eats and the things she does is geared toward the black community. All of her clothes, she's been shopping for years with black people. That is something that a lot of people, especially when they get to be stars or they've traveled all over the world, they tend to patronize other people other than their own people. She has never ever left the community where she lives, where she eats, where she shops, who she goes around, the events that she goes to, the things that she does charitably. You know, when I was on the board at the Black Arts Alliance and I needed Carla to perform, she didn't say, well, what are you going to give me? She just showed up and performed. And she is a person that, as a musician, she loves to see other musicians perform. And when you see her performing at a lot of these places, it's just because she'll do it. She don't say, well, I got a certain price or I can't do it. She just will. And she's been performing most of her life. In fact, when we used to play and have the park and recreation department on parks, and at Lincoln Park every year, they would have talent shows and they would have like the Olympic of Games. Carla would be there. You know, when her dad, when I was tap dancing at a very young age, Carla and I met because I knew her dad when he was a comedian with Rufus and Bones. So the friendship has always been, even though she was a young person, where most of us, all we have to do is just play and obey our parents or doing something. She was thrust into the limelight as a performer. You know, the Teen Town Singers were professionals. They used to have me on the radio tap dancing while they were singing. And all you'd hear, and I never understood it, all you'd hear would be our jingle taps on the radio when we'd be tap dancing after the Teen Town Singers sang. So we have a love for each other. She still shops with me, and even if she don't shop with me, we visit and we have these long conversations and we laugh about the changing times. But one thing we do know is music always stays the same. Music is the heart and soul of our people, and that you can make somebody happy, you can bring them out of a sadness, you can bring them out of depression or anything just by the sound of music. And what we have to do is we have to embrace and treasure those people that have been around for more than 50 years singing and bringing music to the heart and souls of us as a culture and as a people. Thank you, Mr. Hurd, for recording and trying to keep our culture in the music business alive and well.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to say directly to Carla?
Well, you know, Carla is always going to be special in my heart because, number one, she's still just like it was 14 years old. She still laughs. She always sees the best of everything. And Carla still has trust and faith in the Lord. She does not have a telephone, don't want one. So communication is in person. If you can't communicate with her in person, you're never going to hear or talk to Carla. My girl. Forever and always BFFs. Forever and always BFFs.
I'm telling you.
Oh, that's so
Good job, I've been waiting for 2 years to give you this award.
yeah, I know.
It was worth the hunt.
Thank you all so much.
On behalf of the Jimmy Lawson Jamboree Festival, we give you, okay, I see myself. On behalf of the Jimmy Lunch with Jamboree Festival, you are truly beyond category. You are the 2019 Jimmy Lunch with Jamboree Festival homecoming queen, the queen of Memphis soul, the GOAT for the most. Let's toast.
Let's toast.
Thank you, Carla. Star Carla Thomas, queen. We love you, madly.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah. Well, you got your phone behind.
Let us see.
got it.
Turn around. Turn around.
Okay.
All right, one more.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, wait. Come take another one. Yeah, you actually wanted to say.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
That's my phone right there. Yeah. Okay, I should always got my phone. All right. We in for a treat. Miss Carla Thomas. Sister, the queen of Memphis soul, is going to bless us, bless our ears, bless our souls and our hearts and our minds with a rendition of whatever she want to sing. You can do acapella or what you going to do?
Well, I heard a young man over there playing. Has he left?
Which one?
I got the
Pianist.
Well,
Well-
you got Sydney right here.
Oh, Sydney.
The homecoming king.
I didn't see Sydney.
It's the homecoming king.
Was that you over there playing? Do you know the clock? It's
Johnny
I'll
Anderson.
try. Yeah, as a 11-year-old, I joined the Teen Town Singers. And I begged my daddy, I begged and begged and begged and begged. And he said, you're supposed to be 14. You have to be in the 9th or 10th grade. And a lot of people don't really realize the importance of A.C. Muha Williams. People remember him? He was a teacher first at Manassas High School.
Right.
And Booker Washington. Okay. That's why there were so many Booker T. Washington kids in the Teen Towers. But they would do Negro spirituals. They would do jazz. They would do R&B. Whoever was coming to the Ellis Auditorium, back in those days, WGIA brought them if they were R&B. At the Ellis Auditorium, which is now the Cannon Center. I miss it because it had two sides. Early, you may remember that. It had two sides. It had a concert side and wrestling. If you got tired of one thing, you could run around to the South Hall and watch the wrestling. And my dad loved wrestling, so WDIA would give these concerts called the Goodwill Review.
That's right.
And the Starlight Review.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
One was in the summer, Under the Stars.
That's right.
And Goodwill Review was in the winter.
Yes.
So, and if you were anything or tried to be anybody, you better come through WDIA. And they had a theme every year. That's what I liked about it. And I remember, as a little girl, when Johnny Ace cut in the WGIA studio where we sang as kids. WGIA has just fostered and fathered and mothered so many artists. Johnny Ace and B.B. King. B.B. King, I know, Mother Heard, I know you know Pepticon. Show is good, you can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. The kids sang that like it was a song. Like they do now. You hear a good commercial, they just sing it. It's a song. They might as well put it out if it's a commercial. Kids 2 years old can't even read, can go in the store and start singing. You know, that's what they want. So, but WDIA fosters so many people, including me and the Teen Town Singers. I wasn't even a teen yet, but I remember definitely Johnny Ace and B.B. King. He came to the Palace. Daddy at that time was the MC, because he had a show like the Apollo and Steve Harvey, kind of like what Steve Harvey does. Well, the Palace Theater, that's another thing we need to really address, is that Palace Theater, because it's missing. And then they closed the New Daisy, so we don't know what's happening there. But that Palace Theater was like our Apollo, I was like 7 years old. I wasn't even supposed to be in there at 7 o'clock at night. So my brother and I would just come in and sit, and he would say, now, you know, you're not supposed to be in here, but you have to sit. So my love, not only for music, but for performance, was really born right there. And my idol was Ivory Joe Hunter. Anybody ever heard of him?
Are you sincere when you say
I love you. And I used to get in the mirror and I would go, ooh, these arms of mine. And one time my daddy called me and said, you trying to sing? I said, no, because I was shy, you know. But I love Muddy Waters. I got a chance to meet all these blues people. I didn't just had no idea how important these people would become in our lives. And we live right around the corner in the Foot Homes. A lot of people don't know about the Foot Homes, but Foot Homes was new. We thought we had a condo and a townhouse. So, and we did. I mean, we had upstairs, downhouse. It was really wonderful. But getting back to Johnny Ace, I'm so happy that you all are doing this, because he was one of my first solos in the Teen Towners singers. It was, I said, I can't sing that. And Mr. Williams, see, they thought I would get out. You know, well, you never come on in. You know, she's not but 10, 11. She'll get sick of us and leave. Never happened. I graduated from Hamilton School. I only missed one time.
All right.
well,
Never got sick. Wednesday, Friday, rehearsal, Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning on WDIA, where Johnny Ace recorded. And BB had a 20-minute show and recorded, because this gentleman who saw him at the Palace Theater said, I will pay for your studio time if you will sing my product. And he said, Pepticon show is good. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. And we sang it, Billy, as a song. So all these people, and then when BB began to get calls, I mean, he was on every week, right? So when he got these calls, he started gigging and traveling. And who got his spot? My daddy. For 60 years at WDIA. And Nat D was already there, so everybody who knows about Nat D Williams, he's quite a historian at Booker T. Washington already. He was doing Black History before he had to do it this way. You know, you ever heard of Ida B. Wells, yo? You know, he had to do it that way. But he was a great man, and I'm glad that you called Naomi's name tonight, because we became really, really great friends as little bitty kids growing up. She went to Paris, I went to Tennessee State.
All right.
And so, but all of us were exposed to big bands. Daddy, people were sending all kinds of jazz artists, people I had never heard of, like Lores Alexandria. And we would play all these songs and get to know people that you might never hear again now. You know, we played these 78s. We had all this, but because of the programming at WDIA, they went almost blues, R&B. But it wasn't that I didn't know Bowlegs, Miller, you know, Bowlegs, Miller. Daddy was a minstrel in his early life, so he knew Jimmy Lunsford, and he knew Tough Green. And Miss Green was one of my teachers over there at Hamilton for a while. And Al Jackson Sr., they all had big bands. They would sit like you see these guys on the movie with the lights and reading charts. And I just thought my brother used to tell me, I don't know how many people remember Marvell Thomas, but he used to say, don't get up on anybody's stage telling them, get like me. And go, don't do that. You have to know if you're singing in a C, a D. But today, I'm probably would have to say to Kirk, or something like that. But I love all of the experiences I've had.
Yes.
There have been many,
yes,
and it hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
Being a young African American girl, not knowing, just loving music, no real heavy desire to be a star or anything. It was thrust upon me. Gee whiz, I wrote when I was a senior in high school, and it just these things just happen, and I like to encourage young people all over the world. It's not about just singing or dancing, or it's about learning really the business that you're getting ready to get in, because it's going to be something, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be a thing. You're going to have some disappointments. You're going to have some people run out of the door and say, I thought so-and-so was going to pay you. You know, you're going to have some of those, you know. So, you know, you're going to run into stuff like that. But tonight, I think I would love to do a tribute to someone I really loved at a very early age, and that's Johnny Ace.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, wonderful.
I look at the face of the clock on the wall, and it doesn't tell me nothing at all. That face on the clock just stares at me. It knows I'm lonely and always will be. I wanna cry my heart out, want my baby back with me. I've nothing but time to step out, but time means nothing to me. If you hear me, please come back real soon, 'cause this clock and I are so lonely in this room.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
All right.